Please subscribe to my channel to help me grow. The office was quieter than usual that Thursday evening, the kind of silence that feels heavy, almost suffocating, as though the walls themselves were holding their breath. I had stopped by to pick up a forgotten folder, expecting an empty workspace and a routine, uneventful trip. But when I turned the corner near the conference room, everything changed. She was there, my wife, standing uncomfortably close to her coworker, Mark. Her hand lingered on his arm in a way that made my chest tighten, a gesture far too intimate for a casual workplace conversation. Her lips moved, and though I couldn't hear the words over the pounding of my own heart, the tilt of her head, the sparkle in her eyes, it was unmistakable. She was flirting. I froze, a surge of disbelief and fury battling for control. Part of me wanted to storm in, scream, demand an explanation. Another part, a smaller, cowardly part, whispered that maybe I had misread it, that I had no right to jump to conclusions. But then her eyes met mine. That's when the air shattered. Her smile vanished instantly, replaced by a flicker of panic, a raw, exposed vulnerability that cut deeper than any confrontation could. She took a step back, her voice catching as she tried to form words. I can explain. But there was no explanation that could untangle the betrayal etched in the lines of her face, the tremor in her hands, the way she refused to meet my gaze fully. My mind raced, a chaotic storm of thoughts and accusations. How long had this been going on? Was this a single lapse, a reckless mistake, or something deeper, more deliberate? I wanted to run, to leave, to protect the illusion of us that still lingered somewhere beneath the shock. But my feet stayed planted, rigid, as though they were fused to the floor by the weight of disbelief. Explain what? I demanded, my voice sharper than I intended, cutting through the thick, oppressive quiet. Her eyes filled with tears now, but they were not enough to soften the jagged edges of my anger. She opened her mouth, closed it, and finally whispered, "I didn't mean for you to see. It's complicated." Complicated. That word, so small and so lethal, reverberated in my chest. I had spent years building a life with her, years of trust, laughter, and shared dreams. And in one fleeting moment, it seemed to crumble into dust. I could hear my own breathing, harsh and ragged, as the room seemed to tilt and sway. Mark, sensing the tension, stepped back, awkwardly clearing his throat. His eyes darted between us, and for the first time, I noticed the smugness in the corner of his mouth, an arrogance I wanted to punch out of existence. Complicated, I repeated, my voice hollow, shaking. Is that what you call this? A joke? A mistake? She shook her head, her hands trembling at her sides. No. I don't know why I did it. I felt something I wasn't supposed to feel. I wasn't thinking. But I couldn't hear her anymore. My mind was a whirlwind of pain, disbelief, and memory fragments. Her laughter, the late nights she'd claimed were overtime, the small lies about texts and calls. Everything clicked into place, a horrifying mosaic of deceit. I wanted to believe her, to cling to the pieces of love that still lingered, but my heart screamed against it. Trust was no longer a currency I could spend freely. She had crossed a line, one I wasn't sure could ever be erased. I trusted you, I said finally, my voice breaking, barely audible. I trusted you with everything. And now? I swallowed hard, trying to steady myself against the tidal wave of emotion. Now I don't know if I even know you anymore. Her face contorted in anguish, guilt spilling from her in waves. I'm so sorry. I never meant. But sorry didn't reach me. It didn't erase the vision of them. The warmth in her eyes that wasn't mine. The betrayal had a taste, sharp and metallic, lingering on my tongue. Mark shuffled awkwardly behind her, murmuring something I didn't hear, something that felt irrelevant in the moment. The room seemed to shrink, the walls pressing in with the weight of everything I'd just discovered. I turned away, my mind a storm of chaos and grief. The air outside the office felt impossibly cold as I stepped into the empty corridor. Every step echoed like a drumbeat of heartbreak, and my chest ached with the realization that nothing would ever feel the same again. She followed me, her voice cracking. Please let me explain. But I couldn't. Not yet. Not ever, maybe. I had glimpsed a truth that shattered the foundation of our world, and some things once seen could never be unseen. I walked to the elevator, my hands shaking as I pressed the button. The doors closed, separating me from her and the life I thought I knew. And in that silence, I realized the most devastating truth of all. Love alone could not heal a betrayal this deep. The ride down felt eternal, each floor a cruel reminder that the world outside would continue, indifferent to the storm raging within me. I had caught her in the act, had seen the fracture in our life laid bare, and there was no turning back. The question now wasn't whether I could forgive, it was whether I could ever trust her again. And in that moment, the weight of betrayal pressed down on me, suffocating, undeniable, and brutally final.